Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich. Sorry, I hit record a little too soon. With your Witchy Book Club series, we are going through chapter 4 of the Temple of Shamanic Witchcraft. I just dropped my pen. Fantastic. Hold on. Okay. If you would like to get your own copy, there is a link down below. If you would like to be a patron on Patreon, let's thank them. Thank you, Linda and Sophia, for being patrons on Patreon. If you would like to become a patron on Patreon, link is down below. The funds go towards helping us start up this Christo-Pagan church here on YouTube. If you would like to get something tangible for your money, the money goes towards to me, and hence keeps the channel going, keeps the lights on, keeps the electric flowing. You can hit up the eBay link down below. And if you don't have the money to support this channel, but you would still like to support this channel in other ways, you can hit the subscribe button right there, hit that bell notification, hit that like or dislike button, and share this on your social media platforms, as well as commenting down below. It's always much appreciated. And if it is safe for you to do so, share this on your social media platforms. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm going a little bit quick today because I need to get this video done so I can pack up the computer for going down to Dover. I would do it later this week, but I am completely booked up, and there is something big happening on Sunday. I'll let y'all know about that on Monday, but if you were a patron on Patreon, you already know. Anyway, if you're a patron and you know, don't tell anybody. It's a big secret. Shh. Anyway, we're going to start off Chapter 4. It's starts on page 57. The role of the shamanic witch. In our grandest of traditions, we're going to start with the first sentence, see how it encompasses the entire chapter as a whole. The role of the Stone Age witch and the role of the tribal shaman are not all that different. I think he starts it off pretty strong. I'm a little biased. I am a fan of Christopher Penczak and his writing style. His writing style is sort of, kind of, absolutely poetic to me. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's not too highbrow. Kind of gets to the point and makes me want to read more beyond what he just said in this first sentence. So let's go ahead and move on. Also on page 57, the witch's power is to serve the greater good. Absolutely could not agree more. If you're not serving the greater good, what are you doing? Even if you're serving yourself in good ways, you're still serving a greater purpose, a greater good purpose. So I would like to emphasize that, use your powers for the betterment of society as a whole. Moving on page 58, under Mystic, the role of the Mystic is the image of the shaman or witch that is most familiar to us. Shamans develop the ability to speak with spirits, and with the land, and with ancestors. So, this would be kind of my idea of what a mystic is, and kind of encompasses the entirety of what I think whenever somebody says the word mystic. It's kind of what comes to mind, what conjures up in the brain thing. Continuing on to page 59, I'm sorry. I'm tripping over my words a little bit here. I do apologize for that. Under minister, shamans fulfill the religious role of minister, priest, or priestess in their community. This is an important undertaking, and I want to stress that to anybody who takes on the claim of minister or pastor or reverend or any of those types of things, priest, priestess, whatever your title is. Whenever you take something like that on, it is a big deal. It's not to be necessarily taken lightly. Some people do it as a joke, and that's one thing. However, I think this is an undertaking that is very important. So I treat that religious role with reverence, no matter what religion it is and whatnot. If you are a holy person, and I use that in quotes because not everybody has the same concept of holy, but if you are a person of the cloth, put in your name for that person here. But if you are that type of person that is a religious leader, you have a big duty to perform, and you have a duty to your community. I am very passionate about that. Give me one second. Okay, yeah, I don't know what that ding was. It doesn't matter. And also on page 59 is community leader. Their wisdom and counsel are respected. They aid the tribe in social decisions and future planning. Again, an important role that if you are taking this on, if this is the type of shaman that you are, or not shaman, yeah, I guess shaman, the shamanic witch that you are, then you have to meet that, and you have to address the fact that this is a big deal. Psychologist, on page 60, many counselors who have studied witchcraft with me have told me that the shamanic information they learned in class was more helpful on the practical level than much of their formal psychology training, because it looked at the whole person. And I am waiting for medicine to actually catch up with this, because there are so many things that have been discovered that, hey, this tribe of people have been doing this for millennia, and how are we just now finding out that this is something that is inherently good to do? There are many things out there that we can use as examples of this. X, Y, and Z is good for the body. Well, certain individuals knew about that long ahead of time. If you just didn't try to burn them all, you would be good. But this is something that I wish the medical community would actually try a little bit more. Sometimes you need to treat the entire person, the whole person, rather than just the aches and pains here and there. Sometimes it goes a little further. So I just wanted to point that out. Also on page 60, metaphysical healers look to heal the whole person, not just the symptoms. Body, mind, energy, and spirit must all be brought into balance for true healing to be effective. Absolutely, this is what I was saying before. Just basically reiterate that. Treat the whole person, treat the whole body, not just individual aches and pains here and there that are isolated. Sometimes, because you have an ache here, it is because of a deeper emotional issue that you're having. And, shamanic practitioners and witches in general usually are not naive to that fact. At least not the ones that I've met. So, yeah, I mean, I would not want to go to somebody that doesn't have a medical degree for a medical emergency. However, if I'm having a slight ache and pain, I might try a healer, because, if it's truly an emergency, I'm going to the ER. But if it's a lesser type of ache or pain, maybe some more traditional healing would be more beneficial. Continuing on to page 61, before we even think of presenting our skills to others, we must make sure that we are on stable ground. I wanted to touch on this because this is something that I see in the tarot reading community. Whenever somebody learns how to read tarot, they start putting up their shingle and opening business and whatnot. Yeah, no, please don't do that. Make sure that you are completely comfortable with giving readings before offering them up. I have done paid readings in the past. I have gotten paid for readings, and they've been good readings. I've given away readings here on YouTube, and those individuals who I gave readings to also reiterated that, yes, those were beneficial for them. But if I were to go out and make a full-time job, I better make sure that I'm all squared away with all of my terms and meanings for each card, and be able to spout that stuff off. Because let's be honest, whenever you get a tarot reading, if you get a tarot reading from me, like the whole grand tarot tableau, I'm gonna be sitting there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, discussing each little aspect of it. It's gonna take some time. Now, if I were doing this, as a full-time job, I would need to make sure that, hey, I need to be able to get through this quick, 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 because I'm on a time budget. I need to be able to be available for the next appointment. You know, that's one of those things. Make sure that you're on stable ground. Make sure that you're not overbooking yourself. Make sure you're not overwhelming yourself with the things that you want to do or have to do in order to satisfy a customer. And this goes for a lot of different things. I can use the example with selling antiques and collectibles online. Um, there are so many people that'll go to an auction, they'll get a whole truckload of stuff, they'll take it home, and then they'll be like, oh, that was so much fun, let's go ahead and sell this. This sells for this much, this sells for that much. But they never get around to putting it online. Next thing you know, they have a hoarder house. The buying part is the fun part. Listing it is a little daunting. And it's easy to get over your head on these things. So just, check in with yourself whenever you're starting anything, not just a shamanic witch journey. Make sure that you're checking in with yourself periodically whenever you're taking on any new venture. Make sure that you are not overbooking yourself, overwhelming yourself with too much to do. This week in particular, I have a lot of things to do. By the time you see this, tomorrow, moving on page 64, the true path, actually, I might actually cut that out, what I just said. So, yeah, that might get cut out. Let me take a timestamp. Okay. Um, continue on page 64. The true path of magic is to discover and fulfill your true purpose on this planet. Magical actions help you find that role. Yes, and I think this is true. Finding your true purpose and using the magical energy, using your will to manipulate the energies around you and hence performing magic can help you find your role in life. And once you find that, that purpose that you have to be here in this lifetime, in this body, in this situation that you are in, it makes everything a lot better. You can actually start fulfilling your purpose here on this plane. On page 65, I actually have a couple sentences underlined here, and I want to read them together. They don't go together, so I'm jumping around a little bit, but they kind of go together, and I want to address them. In many traditional societies, the shaman fulfilled a function and was taken care of by the tribe. Others traded goods and their services. Moving on, though many feel it's taboo to charge money for services, and some traditions of witchcraft have vows specifically against this, others feel it's appropriate depending on the circumstances, particularly if you are qualified to offer your services professionally. This is something that I have that sticks in my craw so much. There are so many people online that say, you should never charge for a magical service. I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because my lights still need to stay on it, whenever I need light, and, you need to keep food in the fridge, and, the car loan needs to get paid, and the insurance needs to get paid and whatnot. And if this is my sole source of income, I need to get paid from that. I can't offer that up for free. Now, I do videos here on YouTube. I don't do this professionally, so if I were to do something like this professionally, I would expect to get paid. And for those who do this type of work professionally, those who are called to do this professionally, should get paid the amount that they are due. It is actually shown that whenever you pay for a service, that you actually pay more attention. And I think it was Arwen, Tarot by Arwen, check her out. Excuse me. Let me get a drink here. My throat's getting dry. Tarot by Arwen. Check her out. Arwen I think it was Arwen, said that whenever she would charge more for a service, and it might not have been Arwen, it might have been one of the psychic teachers on the Psychic Teachers podcast. But whenever they had clients pay more for service, they got clients that would pay more attention. They got clients that were more serious. They weren't being flippant about what they were asking, and they would ask better questions. They would ask clarifying questions like, "Hey, what about this? What about that? Is this going to affect that?" and whatnot. They would ask more questions. They would be more engaged in the reading rather than just getting a reading and be like, "Okay, whatever that means," and then walk away. There's a big difference from whenever you're paying $100 for a reading and when you're paying $5 for a reading. Huge. So I just wanted to say that whenever you pay for a magical service, you get what you pay for. And if, especially whenever it comes to professional tarot readers and whatnot, they've put in a lot of time to get to where they are. They've read the books, they've done time sitting with the cards and everything. They, a lot of them know their stuff. I don't want to say all of them, but whenever they know their stuff, you can tell. And whenever you pay that much, you want to get the most out of your money, so you're going to also ask questions. You're going to make sure that you understand everything. And that's also why some tarot readers do not let you record the reading. They don't want, because whenever you record a reading, you pay less attention because you can go back and listen to it. So just some things to keep in mind there. That's my little soapbox. Getting on down. On page 66, we must face our fears. Shamans make friends with the dark. Witches make friends with the dark as well. Absolutely. He is really singing my tune in this book so far. Yeah, we do things in the dark sometimes, and it can be argued that we were pushed to the dark. Sometimes it can be said that we are just more comfortable in the dark. Either way, we make our place in the dark and we make it our own. And I am very much okay with that witchy aesthetic. Continuing on to page 68. The parts that lie beneath the surface, unknown to the conscious self, and acting as our self-saboteur, are the shadow. Some people are self-destructive. We recognize it when we see it in others, because their personal saboteur doesn't live in our blind spots. We see others' blind spots, their unconscious zones, quite easily. But our own blind spots are invisible to us. Even when they are pointed out to us, we still miss them unless we are truly ready to bring them into our conscious awareness. And this got a resounding, oh my gosh, are you ever hitting the nail on the proverbial head? Excuse me. Absolutely hitting the nail on the head there. Because there are times whenever, hey, I have a huge blind spot on X, Y, or Z. And everybody sees it. Everybody will call me out on it, or they'll say, "Oh, you know what? Whenever you did that, that was kind of bad, or that was kind of rude, or you weren't so gracious here or there." And I appreciate them calling me out on it. It means that you're comfortable with talking to me about something serious that should be taken seriously. And sometimes whenever somebody says that to me, my first reaction is, no, that's not true. That's not how I meant it. And that's not a blind spot of mine. No, absolutely not. I go on the self-defense strategy. And then I'll sit back and say, you know what? Actually, they were kind of right. That was a little rude, or that was a little pompous of me, or something of that sort. So I absolutely agree with this, and I would just stress that if somebody is coming to you, for one, thank them for coming to you, because not everybody does, and then they end up talking behind your back and they hold a resentment or whatnot. But thank them for coming to you with a concern, a corrective action for you, and whatnot, um, let that be the first thing that you say. Like I was saying in the last Witchy Book Club one, I think it was the last one, about the silence. Sit in that silence for a little bit. Even if it's your own voice, sit in that silence and be okay sitting in the silence. Contemplate. Listen to what somebody has to say and contemplate that. Don't be quick to verbalize your disagreement with it, because you might not disagree once you look at all the ways that they're looking at it. So I just wanted to stress that. Continuing on to page 71, and I think this is one of the last things that I have underlined here. Let me just check real quick. Pretty sure it is. Oh, no, I have another little thing. This is the last major one I have. If we want to be of value to a community, then we must find others in the community whom we value and can go to in times of need. Don't feel you have to go it alone. And this is something I wanted to stress, because there are people here on YouTube. There are friends that I've made here on YouTube that I will know for the rest of my life, or the rest of their lives, whoever dies first, that I will continue to be friends with. I will continue to share a connection with. And even though we may not talk every day, like, for instance, Annie, if Annie is watching this, Annie, you're a lifelong friend. I don't care. If I happen to, while I'm down in Dover, which I don't think I'm going to have much time this time down in Dover, but if I happen to have a little extra time where I can go visit Annie, I'm going to go and visit Annie, and I'll be like, hey, Annie, you and Roger, y'all are aces. I love y'all. And, we would have that nice time of friendship and whatnot. We would have that that connection, that bond, and then we might part for a little ways. I was just talking to Annie not too long ago about the thing coming up tomorrow, and she was excited. So I know y'all are gonna be happy about it too. So y'all are gonna get updated on Monday, so don't worry, you're not gonna be in the dark too much longer. But the last thing that I wanted to say was on page 76. I just think that this Shadow Promise ritual is very well worded, and I just wanted to read it. It says, I, state your name, ask in the name of the goddess, God, and Great Spirit to acknowledge, heal, and partner with my shadow over the coming year and a day. I make this vow to my shadow and to myself. I ask for the guidance and help of the other worlds, from the spirits, guides, ancestors, and teachers who are correct for me. I ask that this occur with ease, grace, and gentleness, for the highest good, harming none. So mote it be. And I love the way this is worded. First, you are asking deity. For one, we don't demand of deity. We don't say you must do this. You're asking deity in this case. Sometimes we demand energy do something, and that's different. It's not a deity that we are asking, or that we are telling them what to do. You're asking deity to assist you in this year and a day, as this is supposed to be a year and a day study. You are making a vow of what you are going to accomplish this year and a day, and then you set out what the or you're setting the vow, and then you're asking for guidance from other entities. And I think this is important. Who are correct for me? You're not just asking any entities, you're asking the ones who are correct for you. Being specific in your spell work is important. Trust me on this one. I cannot stress that enough. And I ask that this occur with ease, grace, gentleness, and for the highest good, harming none. You're putting in that barrier of don't harm anybody with this. Excuse me on that one. That's my 9 o'clock alarm. You're asking that this, how this is supposed to come to fruition. And that it be for your highest good, all that good stuff, is a nice example of a specific spell working, that if you take the type of the rubrics used in this spell, I think it can be utilized in other ways for other spell workings, and I think it's quite beautifully written. So anyway, that's all that I have for this video. I think I'm gonna edit just a little bit of that out, that I was almost giving away what's happening, but I will let you all know on Monday. So stay tuned for that one. I'm gonna make the video probably as I'm driving down to Dover, so you might get a little, shaky cam in the car type of deal. Otherwise, I think I might do it. I might record that on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all will know when you know. But that's all that I have for today. And until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye.